Embrace the solitude of your journey, because it's in the quiet you shape your destiny. Hi guys, welcome to the Adonis Talk, where we empower your journey to success and personal growth. My name is Jared.
And my name is Faheem, and today we'll be talking about hard work versus enjoyment in youth, no dilemma.
I'd like to note this, we're broke, okay, so this is why we have one mic, so bear with us. It's hard at first, but you'll get used to it. So we're both business students at Lancaster University, and this podcast is here to basically throw out to the world our, not intimate discussions, but our thoughts on various subjects when it comes to masculinity, health, entrepreneurship, and everything that goes with it. So today's subject, as Faheem said, is hard work versus having fun as a young man, the ultimate dilemma. So personally, I feel that dilemma very hard. I've been in this pursuit of entrepreneurship for the past 3-4 years since COVID-19 hit. This passion grew with my knowledge in Bitcoin and various other factors. So I personally feel that with obviously my entourage, my friends, our interests are sort of shifting separately, where I'm valuing more hard work, actually grinding on my side projects and stuff, when they actually just want to go, obviously because I'm a university student now, so it's all about the university life, college life, go out, drink, have fun, have a lot of women, just a general what basically sells the student life. And I'm not going to say I'm not buying it. I actually really envy it. I've always partied. I mean, who hasn't? Well, we'll explain that later. But honestly, I've drank and I've partied and stuff. And actually, this dilemma where I've got to sort of sacrifice this for my work and my even it's not necessarily making this correlation to entrepreneurship, but it comes to everything, like actual discipline, like going to the gym, eating a healthy diet, because obviously us broke students, it's hard to eat healthy. You can, it's hard, it demands time, and most students are lazy and they just prefer to go out, party, spend their money there and come home and have some pizzas and some Greggs. That's for the UK students. So it's been hard. But Faheem here, on the other hand, is a Muslim, so it's been a bit easier for him, and he'll share his experience with you guys.
Right, yeah. So, since I was born, in Saudi and I'm a Muslim, I really never really had the opportunity to party or, have drugs, or really indulge in any kind of those just all those kind of things. And I think that is a good thing in a way, because it is much easier for me to now abstain from all of those kind of things, which I see Jared, even though he has the opportunity to do all those kind of things now, he's still refraining away from those because it is kind of detrimental for your self-being and your self-worth. Sure, it could be fun, it could be excitement, but in the long run, it really isn't all worth it. So like I said, it is very easy for me to really restrain myself, and I think I'm very grateful for that opportunity, even though I am missing some of what is happening, but honestly I don't care, because in the future it'll be very easy for me to be away from all this kind of thing. So Jared, I want to ask you a question, right? Do you think there's a middle ground to this, or do you think it is good for you to go have a bit of both. Yeah, have a bit of both, and have like excitement, and you can have like a work balance, that kind of thing. So
Middle ground between hard work and having fun. The thing is, most people will tell you, yeah, well, just, you can do the hard work and, you work on your business, but then, oh, but just come have fun with us and stuff. But the thing is, it's not just about balancing and actually be like, oh, let's just leave room to having fun. But the thing is, that fun is actually detrimental to our health. If it was fun, like actually like going on a hike with your friends and stuff, I'd be like, yeah, sure. But when it comes to it's actually like drinking, sleep deprived, eating, I mean, these are all things that are just bad for us. And I don't see why we should leave room for that. I think we should just prioritize the good habits. You need to find fulfillment in your hard work. You can't find fulfillment in these detrimental things for the rest of your life, because if you actually, let's say you find a balance, okay, and you actually do both of them, but you basically, I don't know if you read the book like Atomic Habits or anything, but if you understand how habits work, if you actually just get used to going out and stuff, it's not easy to quit, and most people just don't. If you look at most adults like that actually indulge in this kind of behavior in youth, like sleeping with lots of women, or the other way around, sleeping with lots of men, eating badly, or drinking, having drugs, it leaves a mark on you, and in your future life, it impacts your relationships, it impacts your health. When you see like this, like say average unhealthy British guy full of tattoos and smoking and cheating on his wife, or he might not even have a wife, he might actually just have like random girlfriends every 3 months, you can tell the guy didn't really start on the good foot. If you actually start with the good habits, as I'm saying, from a young age, and actually don't push yourself, because most of us are pushing ourselves. Most of us think we're missing out from actually having all these, like going out and stuff. You don't miss out. I think it's on the long run. If you had to choose both, so that's coming back to your original question, if there's any middle ground, I think you should just choose one or both. And obviously, the right answer would be hard work, because looking back, I think if you compared two men there, or two women, I'm just two men. If you take one man that actually indulged in that kind of behavior very young, and did that for multiple years, for his university years, college years, and you take a man that actually did the hard work, and now can, like retire his mum, compared to the other one where now he just, does the hard work now, but obviously it's late now, he's 40, he's unhealthy, he doesn't have a wife, well, he's divorced, he has got like 3 kids, he's broke. I think the choice is made pretty quickly, I think.
So the question really boils down to, if you really want to work for a few years and then enjoy it for the rest of your life, like obviously not like really the case, but yeah, or you want to enjoy a few years of your life and then really suffer. Do you think there's some truth to that, or do you think that's not really the case? Do you think working for a few years in the beginning is good for you, and it will give you a lot of enjoyment in the future, or do you think there's some? Mm,
I think it's like everything. The sooner you do something, the sooner you actually learn and like do the work and stuff and get used to it and actually find fulfillment in it and actually enjoy what you're doing. It's like going to the gym. I've been hitting the gym now for like a year and a half, and I'm actually starting to actually enjoy going to the gym. At first I was like, oh my god, I've got to lift weights. I'm hyped now. I'm going with Faheem every day, just with our protein powders, going, yeah, go on, yelling at each other, yelling like David Goggin quotes, who's gonna carry the boat? I mean, you just start like having like fulfillment in those little things. I think the sooner you do this, the happier you'll be, and the easier it will be in the future. So I think, yeah, just entrepreneurship, and even not necessarily entrepreneurship, but any way of life. Like if you want to be a doctor, like obviously you're gonna have to do the hard work now. And in the case of entrepreneurship, obviously, yes, we're both doing business management studies. It really is just working your ass off for years, until it actually pays off. And it's even a good thing. It's not like you're missing out on like the best thing of your life. I mean, sure, most adults will say, "Oh, the best time of my life was being a student," but that's actually the point. If you look at most adults, they'll say the best times of their lives were being a student, and since then they're just miserable. I mean, no disrespect, but that basically points out the problem. Like, wake up, like sacrifice those years towards like a good cause. Like working out, eating well, building a business, and then you've got the rest of your life to actually have fun. Now, I'm not saying to actually then indulge in all of that, but I mean just actually travel the world, discover things, like founding a family. It's one of those valuable things that just, so yeah, I think that's I think that answers your question. So I've got a question for you, Fahim. Do you actually I'm not gonna say regret, but actually feel like you're missing out? Obviously, you had this on your life, but like seeing all your, I mean, I guess I can call them your friends, but seeing all these, your entourage actually going, having fun like almost every night. Potentially, I mean, sort of without you. Like, how does that make you feel? And do you actually envy that now? You think about it, or you still stand on your stance and on your word?
Okay, that is a good question. All right. So when you say that, do I feel like missing out? 100%. There's no doubt about it. Like I do feel like I'm missing out. But then I think to myself, like even though I do want to go, I think it is much better for me, for my future self, and for my just like for even for the next day. I don't get hangover or something like that. So I do think it is really nice that that I don't really go out. Yeah.
So, are you saying that if it wasn't for your religion, so if it wasn't for Allah and all your beliefs, would you actually take the step and do it, or do you think you still like resist, given all the past experiences you have had?
Okay, this is an interesting one, right? So I did speak about this with my siblings, all right, about religion and everything. And I even asked them question like, if religion wasn't there, would you drink and stuff like that? And the conclusion that we all came up with is that 100%. Oh man, we would be doing like mad things. But the thing is, we say that because we're restrained from doing it.
And you've never
Yeah, we never
yeah.
experienced it. So I think if in your position, if I was to experience that, I would be like, okay, I know the bad, I know how it is. It's not that great. Yeah, I think it's not that great, right?
I mean,
Yeah, you need to.
obviously, I mean, on the large majority that have drunk, that on the moment it's amazing, but it's all about this, and it's one of the big pillars of like self development. It's all about like instant gratification and delayed gratification, right? And I mean, it applies to everything, and I think alcohol and going out and everything applies to it. You just gratify yourself like instantly just with alcohol and stuff, and you're happy and stuff, and you're like, let's take my case, my Jared of tomorrow is gonna hate me for that. I'm gonna be hungover, be drinking too much, I'll be groggy, I'll be like, oh my god, because alcohol has severe, I mean, obviously not straight away, but it has severe consequences on your brain and on your liver and everything. So I think it just comes down to, yeah, just like, once you know the consequences on your future self, you just feel bad for your future self. I mean, like every action I do, I just try and like think, would my future Jared be grateful for what I've done now, or would he be like you I'm feeling now. It's all because of you, because you just didn't do the hard work. Sorry, I lost track of your question. What was your question?
Even I lost track of my question. I don't know what my question was, but yeah. Yeah, I do think the thing is like, hanging out, going out is basically like you're stealing happiness from your future self.
Yes.
Like that is what it is. Like you're stealing happiness from your future self. Like, yeah, you're gonna be hungover like tomorrow, and instead of that, being happy tomorrow, like waking up normally, you're gonna be waking up like like something like that. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna say.
So, going back to basically, because the whole point of this is like, okay, it's this whole dilemma, right? But it's especially like, it's this stage where you go from your old group of friends, where you will like them and stuff, and suddenly, for the past years, you've suddenly developed these new ideas, these new values, this new vision on the world and how you treat yourself in it. And it's basically this like it's like this grey area between you've I wouldn't say evolved, but I wouldn't say mature, but you've developed these new ideas and these new values, and you've grown as a person so much that you can't really fit in your old group or your old friends group, but you haven't evolved. Evolved is a weird word, but you see what I mean. You haven't evolved enough to find yourself a new set of friends that actually share those values. So it's basically it's like a very lonely. I wouldn't say lonely. Well, it is pretty lonely, except you find people like Faheem who share those same values. But generally, it's just this like low state where you know your friends. You know your friends like you, right? That's why your friends, they even love you in some cases. They're very good friends, and it's hard for them to comprehend what you're going through. It's hard for them to understand because they're still stuck in this mindset of, and I mean, it's free to them to think what they want and have their own beliefs. But you're just there, and they're always like, when I go out or when I stay in and I actually have to work or I have to film a podcast or I've got to work on some side projects. They're like, come on, come out, have a beer, come on. Oh, why are you being so being a Jeffrey? That's the those who know will know. But it's I'm just repeating myself, but it's this grey area where you're just alone, and you'll be alone until you actually evolved enough to actually find yourself a new set of friends that actually don't hold you back towards your hard work and actually understand what you went through, because they went through that too. I think every entrepreneur out there has gone through that phase of I wouldn't say rejection, but it's more of a phase of misunderstanding. Like it's not your friend's fault. They just don't understand.
Yeah. So, even in my personal life, when I'm not as successful as Jared, right? I'll say this, right. I don't do as many things like he does. For example, even for this podcast, this whole thing, he was the main guy who set it up, who brought this idea up and everything. And I was just there, like I was just saying yes to like okay everything. He asked me questions like, "Do you want to make a podcast?" I was like, yes. That's all I did. I just said yes. But I do want to get successful, kind of like him, and then even more. I want to grow up with him. I have a question for you. Yeah, a young entrepreneur, ambitious entrepreneur, wants to transition from the party scene, from from the indulgence of life, from the gratitude, from the instant gratification, and he wants to go and he wants to become an entrepreneur, hardworking, and just a life of fulfillment. How do you think that should be? Like, how do you think that person should do things in life to get into that more easily? Like, what kind of tips would you give?
That's a very good question. So how would you do that? I think what you're gonna have to start doing is actually just realizing that it's the way. If you're very ambitious, that is basically the only way you're gonna achieve your goals. So I think you're just gonna have to like mentally and even just like write on a piece of paper, put it up. Just maintain this perspective of keeping in mind that and reminding yourself of your long-term goals, obviously, and the reasons why you embarked on this entrepreneurial journey. Obviously, it might be, I don't know, to get Bugatti or retiring your mum, or have the finance to have a stable family. So it's honestly hard. You're gonna have to obviously focus a lot, but I can guarantee that these goals are worth it over that. I think you also seek support, find mentors, find like-minded friends that are either experiencing this transition they already have, or they're actually at the goal and where you want to be. So that's another thing. So in the same idea, just join communities, entrepreneurial communities, find like-minded people. As Faheem told me earlier, it's all about just like I don't know how you say that in English. just surround yourself of like-minded people, and it's this famous quote where you're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. I think I butchered the quote, but it's something like that. You get the joke. So yeah, and yeah, it's just basically just stay organized, stay focused. Obviously, mental health matters. So obviously, if you're crippling down in depression and obviously you're lost and you know it's the right thing, but you're obviously lost, you can't just do it drastically from one day to another. It takes time, right? So let's just say you party, let's say like 2-3 times a week. Just reduce it to like Friday or twice a week, maybe once a week. Just go. Be like, okay, then Friday or Saturday is my day off. Is where I can actually have fun. You know, if you're into drugs or into alcohol, you say that's the day I only limit myself to, and it's just basically gradually cutting off all this until it's like any bad habit. Honestly, it's just gradually going down of it. It's like any addiction. You could call it an addiction, really. It's like anything, like even like drinking addictions, porn addictions. You can't just stop. Or eating disorders. You can't just be like, oh, I just put the Snicker bars in the bin and oh I'm done. No, it doesn't work like that. You just, and it takes time. It will take time. It won't happen from one day to another. So just be prepared to. Yeah, it just takes time.
Do you hate what you're doing, or do you start to enjoy what you're doing?
As I said earlier, I think it's like you sort of get, I'm not going to say used to it, but like it's like the gym. I've been in the gym for a year and a half now, and I'm actually starting to enjoy it. Like just lifting weights, especially with friends. I wouldn't say like just the repetition of it makes it enjoyable now, because I'm like getting used to it. But once you know your goals, once you know your aims, and you know what you're working for and towards, I think it just makes it enjoyable. You know what you're doing, and honestly, if you find purpose in what you're doing, and you know it's helping others or whatever your purpose may be, it's actually fun. I mean, okay, some tasks are boring. I'm developing a website at the moment, and it's just, oh my god, just working, and I'm like, that's not how I imagined it. Drawing, designing, reprogramming. It's tiring, but I know it's towards a good cause, so I'm sort of enjoying it. Like, retrospectively, when I'm done, I'm gonna go to bed, and I realise that I've worked for like 4 hours straight on that. I'm actually proud of myself. I'm like, damn, good job, you're getting there. So, to wrap up, embrace the solitude of your journey, because it's in the quiet you shape your destiny. We've got a lot planned, a lot of juicy stuff. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy. But until then, this was Jared,
And this is Faheem. Yeah. Thank you for listening to us ramble and waffle. And yeah, hopefully we see you guys all soon later. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.
Oi Bitcoin.
Discipline is the answer. Bro, he's still going. That's crazy, mashallah.
Carry the boats and the logs.
I don't think they can hear you.